kind of an aqua blue. Put it over here. When I combine it, it goes into a purple. I'm thinking also shapes. Maybe I'll kind of bring this down like this. So, right now, it's nothing, right? It's nothing. But that's okay. What I'm doing? I'm learning to wash the paint, and this is the blue and a little purple mixed in it. I'm washing the paint to see what it does. And when the paper is wet, then it runs. I know if you've been painting a long time with watercolor. Now see, I did that, and what did I get? It's kind of muddy. To me, it looks kind of muddy. Let's just spray this a little bit. I like to spray it this way. Just hit it right like that. Let it run down. I'm a sprayer, I guess might say that. Sometimes you have good luck with it, and other times you don't. Okay, I'm going to turn it back. This is where I start. All these up here. You always got to turn this. And this time I'm going to turn it this way. Good. I'm just showing you how to use different colors. See what happens when you put it over that. So, bar, I don't see anything happening, but that's okay. And that's why I'm trying to tell you that all you're doing right now is having fun with the water and the colors and watching to see what they do. And I'm wetting this over here because, you know, I think I'm going to bring in some blues over here. Sprayer. And I just got to spray this because, and if it's wet, it does things. But if it's dry, it doesn't. It's just kind of dry over in here. Not too much though. Okay, now I'm going to spray it from this angle. Well, maybe you think this is a waste of paint, but you know, if you're starting in watercolor, folks, if you don't play around with it, you're going to get discouraged. I've been teaching for probably 30 years watercolor, and I've had so many people tell me, oh, I couldn't paint. I couldn't paint it. It just wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. And watercolor has its own way of doing things. And if you want to learn anything from watercolor, you got to practice. Now, I'm going to just throw in some, this is purple. You say, oh my gosh, stuff you do. Yeah, I know. I'm just telling you, you got to make a mess. Now I can come in with anything. I can come in with acrylic or ink. And that's another thing I think I'm going to do some ink. Yellow, a deep yellow. And let's try a little bit of this. 2. Oh, you say, oh, you're just making a mess. I know I'm making a mess. It's all right. What am I doing? I'm trying things out to see what kind of effect that I can get. Okay? With plain water. And you know what? Ink is pretty, it's there. When it's there, it's there. It's kind of staining. And this watercolor, as you can see, it's a very heavy staining watercolor too. Making some little spots. Let's try a different stroke. Make this little stroke here. I'm going to turn it back. I'm going to start to spray. I don't know why, but I think sometimes if you don't fool around like this, you know, you'll probably end up, I'll have to put something different on it. But you know, you can see what you can do with this. And I'm just doing this now for those that are just starting with all this kind of paint. Because if you don't experiment and you get into a little rut, you know, this also comes in a white. It's a white watercolor. Oh, you say you're going to use white? Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I'm going to do it anyway. Because I want to see what white does when it's added to all this. What's it going to do? It's a nice watercolor. See? Oh, I'm going to turn this back like this. I'm mainly working right in here, folks. Okay? I'm going to see what happens with the white. See if I spray a little white. You say, well, this ain't going to turn out to be anything that you want to only throw in the wastebasket. Hey, you don't throw your paintings away. You better not throw your paintings away. I've heard of some artists that take their paintings out and burn them up because they don't like them. But you know, I never burn my paintings. And I never throw them away. Because you can always go back in with collage on this if you want to. I'm going to just take a little bit of water now and kind of go in. See what happens if I kind of blend this in. Showing you different ways to work in watercolor, and whether you like what you're getting. So far, I don't like what I'm getting, but I'm not going to give up. How are you going to give up just because you don't like something that you paint? You never want to give up on it. Never. Because in the end, if you keep plugging away, you'll get something you really like. And then you'll say, oh, it was worth all that struggle. And this isn't really a struggle to me. It's just fun.